name is Colin, and I just crossed over into my 40s. The demands of my life is what it is. I gotta work, I have to support, shape, and mold my children. I have husband obligations too. Sound familiar? After all that, I still desire to build something of my own. To build something takes time, our greatest asset. I want to reclaim the creative flame I once had and reach higher in business. To do this starts from within. If I'm better to myself, I can be better to others. Because I believe the ultimate form of medicine is personal investment. There are seasons where nothing feels creative because everything is demanding. And believe me, I totally understand that feeling. That joint is heavy. And if you're in one of those seasons, this episode explains why the pressure doesn't mean you failed. It means your system couldn't survive. Let me explain. Before any creative attempt, the reality was simple. I had spent years slowly sinking under a weight that never let up. Back in 2020, things felt possible. I bought a home. My creative momentum was the strongest it has been since high school. And I mentioned high school because that was the last time that I actually desired to do anything that intrigued me in a way that being a creative does. That was ages ago, you feel me? My brand had life. COVID didn't kill that momentum. It actually gave me the space to run with it. Crazy, right? COVID was supposed to be the place of hiding, and yet I was thriving. Wild. But when that window closed, the responsibilities didn't. Across 21 and 2022, everything increased. The demands of home ownership, the financial strain, the maintenance nobody warns you about, the load of a 6-person household, the schedule of 4 kids getting older, the mental pressure of my school and deadlines, the slow erosion of my digital identity. That feeling that everything that I built in 2020 vanished. My creative self wasn't just quiet, it felt erased. By the start of 2023, at 37, everything hit at its breaking point. I was months away from graduating after 4.5 years of college. I was working full time, a job that drained me. Debt was tightening. My house required more of me than ever. My kids' activities demanded more structure and time. And the version of artistic behavior that once had momentum felt completely gone. No one was checking on me. No one was asking me where I went. No client contract was going to magically appear to bring that identity back. If anything was going to restart, it had to be within myself. Not with a plan, but with repetition. That's the real beginning of this episode. That year was chaotic. You hear me? Every major part of my life demanded more at the same time. Again, beating a dead horse, full-time job, full-time school load, 4 young kids, debt strain, home ownership pressure. A side hustle I created out of necessity, a fading creative identity, zero margin for recovery. It wasn't survivable in its current form. And the only thing that cut through the noise was how I was wired. I've always responded to beginnings. A new Monday, a new month, a clean reset where I say, all right, let's try again. No resolution, no hype, just the rhythm that I naturally operate on. So when all this pressure finally reached its peak at the start of the new year, it wasn't necessarily about January being symbolic. It wasn't about my birthday being meaningful, because it is at the top of the year as well. That part was incidental. The timing just lined up with a moment my brain naturally uses to reset. And that's when I finally stopped ignoring how unsustainable everything had become. I wasn't looking for an escape. I wasn't looking for inspiration. I was looking for a place inside my own life where I still existed. And that's why the pushback started. When everything is stacked this high, you eventually run out of places to hide. The truth hit me in a very simple sentence. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I wasn't going to get discovered. I wasn't going to get the time handed to me. I wasn't going to get contracts without a pulse behind my work. So I asked the question I've been avoiding. What version of me is still alive under all this responsibility? Not a dream vision, not a younger version, just the one that still wanted to create something. And that question didn't bring clarity. It brought confrontation. I didn't need a new identity. I needed evidence that the old one hadn't died. That's when the idea formed. Start small, start weekly, and start now. I knew I couldn't rebuild the 2020 version of myself. Frankly, that season was gone. But I could build something repeatable, something sustainable, something that didn't rely on the perfect conditions that COVID accidentally created for me. So I didn't chase inspiration. I didn't chase a plan. I didn't chase a viral blueprint. I chased repetition, a weekly output, a tiny window where I could see myself again. Not to impress anyone, but to remind myself that I still existed creatively. That was the beginning of the chain. Not a resolution, not a comeback, a very simple correction. Listen, y'all, this episode isn't about hardships. It's about pressure, revealing truth. My responsibilities didn't make me disappear. I just stopped making room for myself. The restart didn't come from inspiration. It came from exhaustion. And the only reason it began in January is because of the timing. It's just the way I naturally reset. That's it. Episode 3 is the moment where I finally said, if my life is going to keep expanding, I have to expand with it. This is where the return actually began. Hey, I appreciate y'all sticking around this long. If this has done anything for you, please drop a comment. I believe in my whole heart I am not the only one on this planet within this age bracket that where life is so demanding, where it's the easiest thing for you to let yourself go. And I just want to know if there's a community out there. If it's you, drop a comment. If you know somebody that's like this, send it to them. I'd appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And with that being said, whatever is queued up next, which most likely will be episode 2, since this series is new, take a gander if you have not. For the record, I'm here to stay all year round. I thought really hard, will I have 52 things to talk about of this 3-year journey? Absolutely. So stick around.